Hey, what's up, everyone? Thanks again for tuning in tonight. Welcome to Tales from the Pits. This is a podcast where we're going to talk about different stories within the casino industry. Tonight, we're going to feature Michelle, and here are your hosts, Jay, John, Mike, and Danielle.
Hello. Welcome, everybody, to the podcast Tales from the Casino Pit. My name is Jay. Let's zoom in for all you podcast people listening. Hi. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the podcast. We are streaming on Facebook. Hello, everybody on Facebook. Casino Industry Canada. Hello, everybody there. And, of course, the Casino Dealer J YouTube channel. So thank you, everybody, for subscribing. Really cool channel. I really love the support, and thanks for thanks for all the comments. Totally appreciate that. My co-host today, the always awesome
me, Michelle. Hi, everyone. Nice to be here tonight. See you all faces. Thanks for tuning in and listen to us jibber jabber for a while. Excited to talk to tonight's guest.
Sweet. Well, thanks for being on the last few weeks. Totally appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, it's actually been pretty fun. And welcome back, of course, the wonderful.
Hi, all day Danny, who I just changed my name to Sleepy Danny because I never happen to be on. Hi, guys. Thanks for having me back. Hopefully, I'll be on more often.
Yeah, hopefully you'll be on more often, but we're gonna end the season pretty soon. So
yeah, but we can still hang.
Well, guys, thank you so much. We are not. I always say we're streaming, but we're not. After the episode, we put the episode on in the future on Spotify and on iTunes. So everybody listening on the podcast, hey, thank you so much for being on, and hopefully you like the stories that we've been giving you so far this season, our second season, even though it's really our first. Technically, it's our second, but we call it our first. I'm going to stop trying to explain it because I never make any sense when I do it. But yeah. Anyways, what can I say? It's Go Canada Day before I say anything. It's been really cool. I don't know if you guys have been watching the Olympics, but I think it's been pretty crazy. Have you guys been watching?
I've been watching as I'm dealing. Like on the poker tables, we have so many TVs. I'm just pitching, watching, Go Canada. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I love the Olympics, but admittedly, I haven't been watching very much of it live. We got rid of cable during COVID. I was like, well, if there's any time to test if we can get rid of cable, because sports was the only reason we had cable. So I haven't been watching as much live, so lots of replays and stuff. I mean, I definitely love the Olympics, so I watch as much as I can, but a lot happens overnight anyway, so a lot of it's after the fact anyway.
Yeah.
On Prime Video for a couple bucks. That's what
I didn't know that.
I think you can do that. I just wake up and then someone's like, hey, we won, and it's like, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
it's like you get vested all of a sudden into canoeing. It's like, oh my god, this is amazing. Yeah, right? It's like you just jump the bandwagon.
That's what I love about the Olympics. Is people who really they commit that much time to that sport all the time, right? And we get interested in it once every 4 years, but they still have that platform, right? That they don't always get. So it is pretty cool that way.
Oh yeah,
I think our guest is ready.
I did not see her yet.
She was there, but I think she's gone again.
Yeah, she was. So we do have a guest on tonight. So for those of you listening, it'll be her first time on Spotify and iTunes. So the first time on this season. I did have her for a couple segments on the channel before, but let's make sure she's got some. She has some computer issues right now, so let's make sure she's all right before we bring her on.
Okay.
Yeah, I love talking about canoeing all of a sudden because it's like, oh my god, these guys are amazing.
I know. I've been like obsessed with swimming and the artistic dancing in the water, like synchro, is so cool. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, how do they keep their legs out of the water for that long? I don't understand.
It is pretty amazing. Did you see the skateboarding? Like 12, 13-year-olds winning Olympic medals.
They're
like that's
so young.
It's out of control. It's so cool.
And I'm so young, and I think they're so young.
We also I know it's a couple days old, but I have to you ever usually ask for shout outs. Shout out to Team Canada soccer, women's soccer, beating the US in the semifinal. What a freaking accomplishment for those awesome ladies.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the final. I think the final is tomorrow, right?
I think you're right.
Yeah, against Sweden. So
I think it's tomorrow night, but on Friday in Japan, maybe.
Right.
Right. It's on tomorrow night. Yeah.
Yeah. I think how's our guest doing? Are you okay over there in the background? Do you want to wave? Tell me when you're ready. Oh yeah, there's a wave. Okay. All right, guys. So let's bring our special guest on. I've had the pleasure of working with her at a couple places, and she's still in the industry right now, and I'm so excited. She's been on the channel once, but she hasn't been on the podcast, so it's really cool to have a new guest on the podcast. Please welcome Alex Jocko.
Sorry, I was having some technical difficulties, but I think it's worked out. We'll see.
Awesome. Okay. Sweet. All right. So, Alex, this is the second time that you've been on the Casino Dealer J YouTube channel. A little unsuccessful in the blackjack challenge, but hey, that's okay.
What? The point was to have fun.
Yeah, that's right. Whenever you're in a
successful.
Yeah.
So, for the people that are just meeting you for the first time, could you let everybody know about your time working in the casino industry, your casino experience?
Sure. So I've worked in the casino industry since 2010. Jay was my trainer. He taught me roulette, blackjack, and prop games. From that casino that we started at, I kind of took a hiatus and I started working in the print and digital design industry. Once my career kind of leaned towards a freelance career, I started doing that and came back to the casino part-time. And it's just been a part of my life ever since.
That's
awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So within that time, I think we worked at Palace. I can say Palace because it's not there anymore, but yeah, we worked at the Palace. You were a very, very good student. Can I ask you where you worked right before you started at the casino?
Yeah, this is what led me into the casino industry. I used to work with a small theater company that toured in Alberta and Manitoba. It's called Jubilation's Dinner Theater. And the show that I was participating in was like an old Las Vegas theme with Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra music. And my character was the crap stealer. So I finished my tour and I said, okay, my contract's done. I need a job. And Palace Casino was right across the hall. And I thought, I'll give it a shot. Why not? And it's been really fun. I like it.
So yeah, that's so cool. So my co-host, would you like to open with any questions? Not all at once, guys.
Well, I was seeing if Dan. It's been a while. I was seeing if Danny was ready to rejoin us.
I'm sorry, I'm rusty.
Okay.
So I'll use one of our go-tos. So, what are some of the differences you've noticed from when you first started working in the industry up until now? How's it compare?
I think the biggest thing I've noticed was when I was working at Palace Casino, I found a lot of the players were more concerned about financial gain and less about having fun. I work at the River Cree Casino now, where it's kind of like more of an entertainment venue. So I think that to me is the obvious difference, where a lot of people are coming for a show night. So they'll just come and play for a little while. They're not sitting and grinding the whole day long. I mean, don't get me wrong, for sure that happens at every casino. But that's probably my biggest difference that I've seen.
That's pretty
cool.
awesome. Yeah.
So since I still am in the industry as well, how have you found the reopening been then? Do you work like a lot? Like, are they wanting you to work a lot more? Are you guys more busy?
Yeah, we're definitely more busy, maybe because we're more short-staffed. So it seems like we're more busy. I only came back as a part-time, so only 2 days a week, because I did take another commitment over the lockdown. And pretty much the feeling, I think, for everyone is if you want to work more, just tell us when you can come in. So it's kind of nice if I have an easy week, I can pick up the phone and get an extra shift if I need. So like shift-wise, it's been good. And then as far as the lockdown itself and restrictions and everything, I think it's been fine. I don't know. I didn't think it was so essential that we be working. Like, it didn't make any sense. We didn't need to be open. So I totally understand why we were shut down. And I was excited to come back when it was time to. So
yeah, for sure.
How about yourself? What did you find?
We're so busy. I make jokes now that like I just live there, you know. I think I spend more time there than I do at my house.
Oh my gosh.
We're all crazy busy. The poker room is insane. Yeah, we actually just got like a couple people from, I think at least we got one person who came from River Cree and just started working in our poker room now. So yeah, so I recognized that name. I've never been to your casino, but
which one do you work at?
I work at Pure in Calgary.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, so you must have gotten Steve.
Yes.
Ah, okay. Oh, he's fun. That's good.
Yeah, I'm excited to have a new houseman. It'll be good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. No, it's cool. Talk shop. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so speaking of that, we have a comment here from Bev. Hello, Bev, one of the moderators on the group. Bev says, maybe you guys should discuss the huge changes in T's and C's. We can back up cards. The pit boss makes all the rules. Section 10 is gone completely. What is the 6-deck shuffle? LOL, hi all. So
Bev and I were just talking about that.
So for those of you that are listening that aren't from the province, the T's and C's are the terms and conditions, and they're basically the operating guidelines that casinos have to follow. They're vague rules, and it's kind of a general base on which casinos can build their house rules upon. So with that, there's been some changes, and if you actually search for it online, there's like no section 10. Although I haven't checked for like recently, it's been like a few weeks, but I remember section 10, which is like all of the table games rules removed completely. So I don't know. I haven't been too vested in it, but I don't know what's been happening with the terms and conditions.
I don't know either, and I pit boss tomorrow night. Like, maybe I should go up and read about it. Like, I had no clue.
So you're saying section 10 was the table game section, and it's not there at all anymore?
That's right. So like 10-1 was blackjack, and then 10-2, 10-3. Each of the individual games are broken out in each of the sections, and then now it was removed. Like, you would search for it and you'd download the terms and conditions, and they've been gone. So I'm assuming they're doing some sort of overhaul. So Bev says supposed to be more big changes. So I think they're looking at a few of like what
something I heard about the T's and C's and a lot of our like FinTrack regulations is that every June for the next 4 or 5 years, we're supposed to expect a lot more changes. So like subtle changes for tracking came out this year, where we have to start collecting people's email addresses and asking for the source of funds of money. And then like things are supposed to develop even more every June.
Well,
yeah. Thomas, how do I use this?
Yeah, I think a lot of what's been happening has been just due to just a lot of the changes in FinTrack. like the anti-money laundering. I know that they're doing a lot more with that, and trying to focus more on, you know, ensuring that a lot of the illegal activities aren't happening in a casino, specifically a casino. And I've seen it over the years where they start changing the rules, where like when I worked, it was 10,000 and then you ask for the ID. And then, you know, it's not like that anymore. It's, I think 9,000 is like the minute. Well, I mean, you can ask ID before it, but 9,000 now is when you have to ask. But 10,000 is like by law.
Yeah.
I remember getting in like really heated arguments, and we didn't release money because people wouldn't give
Your ID.
they wouldn't give their ID. They refused to give ID, and then there's a lot of yelling at the bank. And then apart from that, they were also not divulging, because you have to give them an occupation. So I have to be like, okay, please, I need an occupation. Well, it's a drug dealer. So there, right? Write down drug dealer. So you know, we get into stuff like that. And then the address even. So then, like when someone is missing all this stuff, you have to be like, oh, excuse me, sir. I just want to let you know about this. And you have to be like, yeah. So yeah, you guys have gone through, and as a floor supervisor even, but even up to like the final levels where it's like, yeah, you have to get like the casino manager down here because this guy isn't gonna, like, he's freaking out, and you have to be like, yeah, sir, a PO box doesn't count as an address. You have to give us a physical address, right? So I know it's been pretty bad. Sorry. As we move on, Bev also says 3,000 cash in, buy-in
At one time.
Yeah, at one time.
You can still buy in for 3,000, like at like 3,000 in one go. ID right away.
Yeah, that's insane.
Although I find the people who are doing that, we already have tracked. Like, it's never, for myself, I've never had anybody be like, how dare you ask me at 3,000? It's kind of just like, oh yeah, here we go again, no problem.
So are you saying not a collective 3,000, but if they buy in 3,000
not
at
an
once,
aggregate,
it's
just at one
auto ID. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's been happening a lot more in the poker room as well, because I've been mainly like cash cage, like hiding in my box, you know. So I mean, yeah. And it's nice because I don't actually have to deal, like the person, like my poker helpers, I say, go get it, please. And then they do it. So I don't have to ask. It's awesome.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm so spoiled.
That's funny. I don't think that kind of money is being passed around in our poker room.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
What are the regular games in your What are the regular games in your poker room, Alex?
Yeah, good question.
In ours, it's usually just like 1-2. I think maybe on a Friday or Saturday night we'll get an Omaha going, but it's pretty rare. Although I heard it's starting to pick up quite a bit, which is nice.
Yeah,
and then we did start about a month ago. We started doing some tournaments. So we had like sit and goes on Friday nights, and then just like our loyalty tournament to build up to our big semi-annual one for our point collectors. We started doing that. But we had our big GPPS tournament last weekend, and now we're doing no tournaments whatsoever. So it's an interesting change, but they're really gearing towards the cash games now.
Yeah.
So when you say you get Omaha sometimes, is that a limit game or is it a?
I think it's usually 4-8 pot.
4-8? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy. What time does the poker room close there?
At the River Cree, 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock? Okay. What time does it open?
I want to say 11.
11?
I don't think a game starts right at 11, but like that's when we could.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never played poker at River Cree since the first year that it opened. So it's been that long since I've actually sat on a table there.
Wow.
So
River Cree was the first casino that I played poker in Edmonton. I'm not a big poker player, but I was super thrilled because my very first hand that I played, I hit quads on the flop and I quadrupled my pot, and then I walked away. Now I know that's a big faux pas. I didn't know this when I was 18.
Screw that. People say that's a faux pas. Just, I mean, if you're smart enough to do it, I say good for you.
I was very proud. I also tried to use an alias because I didn't want people to know who I was. And my friends laughed because the best I came up with was Alice. That's far enough from my name.
I love it.
Yeah. Really smart 18-year-old right there.
Quick comment. You have a fan. Alex, so good to see you all.
Oh, who's that?
That's Jade.
Hey,
So
Oh, hey,
yeah.
Jade.
So Jade, you have an amazing Twitch channel. I did watch a couple videos. So you're gonna have to teach me Twitch because you are a pretty awesome gamer. So
What is she? Oh, she's a gamer. What does she play? What games does she play on there?
yeah. You know what, Jade? I don't know what games you play. I just followed and I was just like, okay, that's pretty cool. So
You can give her a mini plug. Does she have
Yeah.
like a handle or something?
Oh yeah. Yeah. So it's Jade, just send out your plug because it's really cool.
Mhm.
It's like some
She's
DVD
also breaking
actress,
into digital design work too. We've been talking about it a lot.
Yeah,
Oh.
speaking of that, could you tell us a little bit more about that kind of project, what you like doing? These are more about your interests. You don't have to say exactly like, hey, this is my business, but you can plug it. You can plug it if you want. So
Sure. Most of my graphic design work revolves around logos. So I'll do like a lot of branding, a lot of small business logos. But I do get to do some custom illustrations. Currently, I am selling a lot of like minimalism pet portraits. That's kind of my popular item right now. I have one behind me if you'd like to see.
yeah, sure.
Yeah,
bring it up.
definitely.
I just did this one this week of a beautiful boy named Gunner.
Aw, cute.
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, I've just been working on minimalism and I do a lot of just classic clean design work.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So if someone wanted to hire you, do you have like a website or a Facebook? Like, what's the best way to contact you?
I do, yeah. I have a website. It's just my full name, alexandrajocko.com. I do not design websites, so I wouldn't say it's an excellent website. But I recently just established my company officially, and I have a Instagram page for it, and it's inspectorvector.yeg. Inspector
I love
Vector,
that.
That's me.
Okay. How's that? Is that right?
Thank you.
Okay, sweet. I should have got this ahead of time. Oh my god. Let's see.
Well, you did that so fast. I was like, it looks like you did have it ready. You're just like, send.
Jaylee's already on vacation from the season. He's like,
I am,
season's
yeah.
over.
I've done like 9 consecutive episodes, I think something like that. I don't know. Actually, I'm lying because I took the one where you took over, Michelle.
With Adrian? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a question because I was also in the party pit. How do you like it? What kind of games did you guys have in your party pit? And what games would you add?
In our party pit, the Rare Cree doesn't really have a party pit.
But
Oh no,
I heard
the
you
one.
worked in one.
I did work in one briefly. Yeah, I worked in the Yellowhead party pit.
Which you didn't mention, by the way, but
yes, I feel like people judge me when I talk about it. No, I was asked to join this party pit because I had dealing experience, and my friend worked for this modeling company, and they hired some models to deal blackjack, and it was only blackjack. And I thought, I'm far from a model, but it's good money. Let's go for it. So a friend of mine who was also a coworker when I worked at the Palace Casino, Tisha, her and I decided to try out for it, and we got the gig. So we got paid very well. Our team did not deal well at all. Tisha and I would just come and get all the cards laid out on the table and have a lot of fun, and then the next person might walk in, and it was a very slow game after that. So it was more about the aesthetic, less about the poker or the blackjack. It was fun.
Did you guys have like loud music and stuff, or like what was it?
Yeah, there was some music with some, I wouldn't say burlesque dancers, but some saucy dancers up on podiums. And then I think a couple cocktail waitresses were outfitted to match. We all had like high heels on and corsets and super tight leggings and makeup. And I think hair and makeup took longer than the actual party pit was open each night. So
Oh man.
it was interesting.
Crazy.
It was almost like a hybrid of my musical theater days and my blackjack.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun. It was only blackjack. I think they might have had some of the prop games in there, but then dealers from that casino administered it. It wasn't the party pit girls that did it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was working the same time you were, but I never saw you. So I know you guys started that, but I think I don't even know. I was dealing poker, or I was dealing craps, or I was in high limit. But we never worked at the same time. However,
No.
I was probably there. I think I was just there Saturdays. So
Okay.
yeah, I don't know.
Oh yeah, there was a burlesque show, and I remember there was the dress rehearsal for it, and you were in attendance. And I was like, Jaylee, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in so long. And you said, I didn't think I'd ever see you in a casino again.
And
look at me now.
I'm sorry, it's my fault for making you such a good dealer, right? Okay, so before we continue, just a couple comments from Bev. She says, Candy Maker, my favorite professional claim. Candy Maker.
Yeah. So it's one step up from drug dealer.
Yeah. Bev says, our dealers love playing poker in Calgary. Easy prey down there. Oh, really?
Ooh. Fighting words.
I have nothing to say.
Yeah, you know what? I'll have to find that picture. I do have a picture of me in the whole burlesque scene. But I think I was a games manager at Argyle actually before. And I think maybe that's why I never saw you, because I was gone. Yeah, I was gone for half a year. And then I worked at Yellowhead after that. But I still had a contract, and I actually got to DJ that burlesque show at the end of it. So,
oh, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was such a tough job because I was like there right on the side, and all it was like burlesque butts just in my face. So I mean, it was really, really tough to kind of deal with that. Yeah, I had to be very professional. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. I have a little intruder here.
Yay! Hello.
buddy.
Oh, okay, what's
Thank
up?
You want
Is
to
that
say
how
hello?
Is that how old you are?
Are you
Sorry.
You're 3? Are you 3?
I have this little mini craps/roulette table. And when we first started the lockdown, my friend sent me a picture of kids playing craps. And so I set it up with him. And it was so cute. For the record, I don't deal craps. I've tried to learn multiple times, and each time I've tried, we've gone into lockdown. So
I feel like there's a YouTube channel idea in there, like toddlers playing casino games.
I
That's
could
so
see it.
sick. We should
Yeah.
do it.
Do you want to learn to play some casino games? No? Do you want to learn poker? My dad taught me how to play poker with Cheerios. Maybe we can do that. I guess not.
Aw. What's
So cute.
Okay, mister, do you want to go hang out with Dad? You can stay, that's
No,
fine.
I like being on the camera. That's cool. Yeah.
He's a ham like his mom.
There's a future entertainer there, hey? So
Maybe.
Where was the part? Was the party pit at Yellowhead?
so
Like inside the casino?
okay, so we were there a few weeks ago, and you know where the high limit area was?
Yep.
So it's just outside of that area there. So there were some pillars,
okay.
and that's where they set up the boxes and the music, and then the go-go dancers were there, and then the blackjack tables were there. So it was okay. It was kind of weird to be right outside of high limit.
Yeah, that's a weird
Wouldn't
spot
that
to put a
make the high
party
limit
pit.
loud?
What's that?
Wouldn't that make the high limit room like really loud? Like,
So
I
I
think
mean,
there's a problem with that.
I mean, if they're screaming for dragons, I don't think they really care.
That's true.
So it's like dragons. Oh my god!
And it only operated for I think like 3 hours or something.
That's
Like
right.
we went from 9 p.m. till midnight.
Mm.
So I don't know if it was too disruptive. It was like on a busy Friday night, and then we
Kind of
a
a loud time anyway in the casino.
Yeah.
Friday. Yeah. That makes sense.
No, also they have the private room in the back as well. So it was all like glass doors and everything. So if someone was really like wanted privacy, they could go back there and they wouldn't hear a lot. Although I mean there's a karaoke machine in there too. So like I don't think they care either,
That's
right?
why people want the private room.
Yeah.
Wait, there's a karaoke machine in the High Limit at Yellowhead?
Yeah.
Private
That's
room.
amazing.
That's pretty cool. It's a very expensive karaoke hour, though.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a good or bad idea. I'm just saying that's amazing.
I just think it's awkward. Like you're sitting there, like they're like, okay, let's just take a quick 15-minute break from Baccarat. Let's just go play. Let's go sing some songs, and your dealer's just sitting there listening to you guys all. It's just so weird.
That actually happens, Danny. Like,
yeah, I'm sure.
Well, why else would it be there if it's not being used?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. To be honest, when Tony brought that in, I think I sang a Chinese song. I'm not Chinese, right? But I knew the chorus from like a long time ago because the chorus was in English, and then that's the only part that I sang. So then, yeah, and I sang like Lone Star Amazed, which is kind of fun. And they opened the door, and I'm like, yeah. But song. Alex, I heard I know that you're a really good singer as well. So I think, yeah,
I'm okay. I was more in the musical theater for like the comedy. I wasn't the number one singer, I wouldn't say. But we did have that karaoke night at your brother's bar. And that was such a fun time. That's
right. Yeah. And that was totally cool. I think I had a lot of fun. Yeah. I think I had a lot of fun. I thought I sounded good, but
of course you sounded good. You can sing amazing. You're great.
Oh, you're Filipino. You're fine. Everyone.
I love how karaoke machines kind of have that like echoey thing, so you don't sound as bad. That's awesome. Right. People like me, I love it.
Jay, was it you that used to sing? This is going way back, but was it you that used to sing the Shaggy song all the time?
Oh my god!
Superstar or something? What's that song called?
Wasn't me.
That's all I can think of.
I don't know. Jay's like way back. Did she used to sing that? I don't know. Maybe I'm remembering wrong.
I think you got me confused with.
Or you just don't want to admit it anyway.
Some other Filipino guy named Jay that works at a casino. I don't know. Singing, really? I don't know if I really do a lot of that, but
I'm calling X.
Yeah, no, pass. Anyways, Alex, what's your favorite game to deal?
Oh gosh, I mean, blackjack is great. I love dealing poker, but I never get to do it. I'd say my least favorite is roulette. It just makes me nervous. I don't know why, after all these years.
Oh, really? I think you were really...
It has to be one of the rarest comments you would ever hear. I love dealing poker, but I don't get to do it very often. How often does that get said in a casino? Usually it's the other way around. I hate dealing poker, but they put me in there. Now, I love dealing poker, so I'm in that camp.
I feel like I would be dealing poker more if I didn't become the part-time pit boss.
Mm-hmm.
But because, I mean, we always need more pit bosses, right? So I'm just, my 2 days a week, my boss pretty much said, you're going to be pit bossing both days. I'm like, so if I want a deal, I got to pick it up? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Which I don't mind. I actually really like pit bossing too, so.
Really?
Yeah. I know it sounds weird too.
Okay.
I know.
All right, I'll tell you guys, just in this province, the reason why I don't like being a pit boss is because if you have a bad pit manager, you're like on your own. So I had a pit manager where it was like a Friday night, and he come up to me and he's like, that guy, he needs to be cut off. I'll be like, oh crap. Okay. So then you have like your script in your head. It's like, sir, I just want to let you know this is going to be the last alcoholic beverage that we can serve you tonight. If you want to pop or coffee, it's on the house, but moving forward, blah, blah, blah. We're not going to be able to serve you any alcohol. And then you wait for the guy to freak out. And then he's going to call you all these names and say all this bad stuff. And you're going to be like, sir, I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry you feel that way. And then you have to go call your pit manager. And that's the whole cycle. After all these years, we learn this. And we pass it down. Like the more experienced floor soups tell us, this is what you're supposed to say. So then like you go in and I'm like, oh, okay, fine. Okay, I'm going to say this. All right. So then I go up to the guy. I'm like, okay, excuse me, sir. And he's like, what? So then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm freezing. I don't know what to say now. So I turn around and I look, where's my pit manager? Where's my pit manager? Where'd he go? And I look and he's like behind a slot machine, just peeking out like this.
Oh my God.
I'm like, you gotta be kidding. So the pit's empty. There's nobody there. And I'm you're standing there by yourself and you're like, oh my God, like this is gonna suck. So then, yeah, you get in there and the guy's like yelling at you. He's like, oh, see you in the parking lot, you asshole. It's your fault. And then you're like, oh, okay, get the phone and you're like, okay, security, hello. This guy is like threatening me. You're like freaking out. And yeah, your pit manager's gone. Nowhere to be found.
Brutal.
I mean, I agree with you. Yeah, you're only going to have as good of a shift depending on how good your pit manager is. And I sound like such a suck up saying this, but I genuinely really admire all of my pit managers, so I do not have problems with that. I've always been able to call for backup or ask like, hey, should I be doing this? Like it's just really good communication between the team that we're with right now, so I like it.
Wow.
That's allowed.
Yeah, I sound like
it's a refreshing point of view. It's nice to hear that.
Yeah, no, I know a lot of the pit managers that you work with because I did work with them before too at some point. Yeah, and they're actually really cool.
Yeah,
so.
There's a really good team with us.
It's been a nice change in like generation. There's still a lot of like the old school people. A lot of people have retired though, but I think a lot of the young kids that were like in their 20s, a lot of them have grown up and they are managers. So yeah, it's a good team. The other thing that I like about now is that a lot of these guys know craps. They know pie gout tiles. They know roulette. Because the managers from before, they never had those games. So then they didn't know like the calls or anything like that, especially like poker. When you have an all games manager, it is really, really easy to talk to that person and be like, this is my problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then at least now they can listen, where it's just like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So quick question for the group here. Alex, how are you for time? I said like 20, 30 minutes, but
yeah, I'm good. I'll put my little one down around 9, so I'm good till then.
Off soon.
What's that?
I might have to pop off soon.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So answer this group question, and then I can boot you off, Danny. So
thank you.
Hello, Team Hardways. Thanks for jumping on and thanks for your comment. Yeah, you've been on a couple times. You've said a couple things, so it's cool. So, at what age did you learn about gambling? I was 6 when my family played craps after dinner on a portable table.
That's amazing. Love
that. Which way you want to go here? Do you want to start? How about you, Danny?
So I was like 16. I mean, like, so I played poker before, but like it wasn't like anything crazy. Like our family would sometimes do like little like poker games, but it was just like random chips being thrown around basically. But then I actually learned about like casinos. I was like 16 and I went to this like corporate like Christmas party and they had like the fun money casino games and I was like, this is so cool. Like we actually got to play for prizes and stuff like that. And so yeah, I was about like 16, 15. Yeah.
Wow.
Cool.
How about our guest, Alex?
Well, I mentioned my dad taught me poker kind of young. He taught me how to play with Cheerios for betting discs. I wouldn't say we played great poker, but he taught me the basics. And from there, like my family, we always just had like little bets about things. So gambling per se, like who can name this song? I bet you $5 Alex doesn't know it or whatever. So there was always like little wagers that we always had. I'd say I didn't actually start learning how to gamble until I started working at this dinner theater, and we just started playing poker after our late night shifts. And then my friends and I just got really into it. Then I got that show where I was the craps dealer, and then I got into the casino life.
That's a really cool story, actually.
It's so random.
A little bit, but yeah, but awesome how it ended up like getting you to the actual casino. And maybe one day you will be the actual craps dealer. So
maybe. I actually was just given the manual again last week, so third time's the charm. Hopefully we don't get shut down for another lockdown. If we do, you can blame the River Cree Craps Casino class.
Speaking of craps, my craps protege, one of my top students of all time, Michelle. How about your story?
Well, you're too kind as usual, Jaylee. I mean, I guess it depends what your definition of gambling is. Like, my mom, both my parents' families played cards, and so I remember being like too young to play cards and wanting to play cards, right? Like, what are those guys doing? They're playing this game that I'm not allowed to play. And so I remember at a very young age learning how to play games like 31 or 99, if you've ever played those games where you have like 3 quarters, right? And you lose, and then you either have a free ride or you don't. And then whoever's left gets all the money. So that was probably my first exposure to gambling. And then in high school, ended up playing a lot with friends, playing games like Guts and different, just the home poker games where you kind of dealer's choice and stuff like that. And, my mom worked at the casino since I was 1990, so I was like 11. Yeah, that's right. When she started working there, so I got to go in the casino when it was closed. And I just thought that was like the coolest thing ever. At like 12, 13, 14, I was like, itching to go play in a casino. So as soon as I turned 18, I tried it. I wouldn't say I was a gambler. Like, I didn't go to the casino all the time. It was a bit of a novelty at first, but I played a lot of poker. I mean, I've talked about that on the show before. And yeah, like growing up, like we did the betting stuff. Like I bet, but I learned not to bet my dad. Like my dad would be like, I'll bet you $5, whatever. And it didn't matter how sure I was. I always lost to my dad, but I learned a lot from it, right? Like if you're going to bet money, to you either know you're gambling or be sure about what you're betting on. And now Alex won't, my husband's name is Alex, won't bet me anymore, because I don't bet that kind of bet unless I'm sure. So he'll be like, no, I'm sure. I'm like, and we'll just fight. I'll be like, I'll bet you $5. He's like, fine, you're right.
My husband and I don't bet money.
Yeah.
We make other bets. Like we'll have a playoff bracket challenge, and whoever wins gets to choose our next vacation spot or something like that. That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, we'll never pick somewhere that person will hate. Like,
sure. Yeah.
But you want those bragging rights for sure.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's a good way to do it. For us, it's always like, I'll bet you $1, which means nothing. It's just really to win.
Yeah.
Exactly. But after I think about 8 or 10 years, every time I would say, okay, I'll bet you $1 that I'm right. And he's like, he just stopped betting because he knew once I said that, I was really sure.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Jay?
Oh my, this is a very degen story, but I've been around gambling pretty much my whole life. My dad worked in Northlands Racetrack, so I knew how to bet horses at 4, so that's pretty bad. But just like you, Michelle, we played spit, whatever we called it, spit. Played 99. I learned all these versions of solitaire. I love cards. That's how I learned my numbers growing up as a kid. So I really, really loved cards. So we played a lot of card games while I was growing up. And then at 11, when I was 11, my brother was 18, and he started at K-Days. So he went to become a dealer. And he and I was his player, and then we would
Mm.
switch. And I learned how to deal at 11 on an ironing board, which is ridiculous because I tried to avoid the casinos, like, because I was going to university. I'm like, oh my god, I can't, like, I don't want to work, I don't want to do this. And I'm lying because I actually had 2 jobs before I worked at the casino, but I didn't want to go in the casino. I was just like, no, this isn't like kind of my vibe, because, like, I'm probably gonna love it. And I did, and that's the problem. And I started to, and I stayed in it, and then and that's it. And then I went on the ships, and then I went to Grand Prairie, and Grand Prairie was it's kind of where I learned Omaha high-low. So then I started to have more of an appreciation for poker. I had a really big appreciation, but it was more about making money before. But then after, like, leaving Grand Prairie and coming back home, I loved poker a lot more. Like, I loved it again, and I was obsessed with it. So I was a really hardcore poker player for like 10 years. And then look at me now, like, oh my god, I'm like this old guy that played so much poker over the years, and I think I must be plus like maybe $30 lifetime, like wins and
But that's
losses.
still plus. That's
Yeah.
the important part.
Yeah, it's like 4 cents a week. I think that's probably my average over the last like 15-20 years. I think that's how much I've won. So yeah, but that's me growing up, and now I've kind of this is the first real time, like, since COVID, that I've taken a break from casinos and everything, except for making a channel for
Yeah.
You just can't get it out of your system, Jay.
It was so gone. It was so gone. And then I made a channel about casinos. So I have, so there's kind of weird. Anyways, that's my story. So thanks for the question, Team Hardways. I think you guys are in Hawaii, right? I believe you are.
That was a good question. I like that question.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, Danny, how are you?
I have to go. But it was really great meeting you, Alex, and really great getting to you and asking questions. And thanks for letting me be on again. I know I'm like a host, but I'm like not a great one. So thank you guys.
I thought you were great.
I'll be on next week, okay? If I can. So
Yeah, it was good to see you again.
Yeah, thanks for jumping on.
Bye, Danny.
Bye, Danny.
Can you kick me off? My computer's frozen.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, they're gone. Oh man. Well, Alex, I said 20-30 minutes, but it's 50 minutes. We have 13 minutes. Are you good to go the last 13?
I think I can handle it.
Okay, awesome. So we talked about your last position, or your position before working at the casino. We talked about your side hustle. Oh, no, it's not a side hustle. It's your actual, like, really cool project that you're doing. Do you have an embarrassing story that you can share that's casino related that happened at the casino?
I mean, I did share about my alias Alice. Yes, my first time in Vegas, I was a fresh 21, and my friends and I, we went online, and we booked the cheapest hotel and flight that we could, and we ended up getting a place at Caesar's Palace, and we were super stoked about it. So we fly in, and we get to Caesar's, and we go to check in, and they say, "Oh, sorry, like, your room's not ready yet." I said, "Okay, no problem. Like, we'll go to the bar, we'll hang out, just let us know." Well, it took a couple hours, so we got right sloshed, and they ushered us into our rooms. I didn't really recollect that in any way, but we got ready to go out to a show, and we spent the night gambling and partying and having a great time, and it's time to call it a night. Somehow my friends and I all separated. I walk into Caesar's, and I can't figure out which GD room I have to get to. So I go up to the front desk, and I'm genuinely saying, "I don't know what room I'm in. I'm so sorry to be a bother. I don't know where I'm going." But somehow I mentioned it took so long to get our room, and we had too many drinks, and it came across that I was complaining about this. So they escorted me up to our room, and the next morning some people showed up to carry all of our luggage to an executive suite to apologize for the inconvenience about making us wait and having issues with our room. And we hope that we enjoy our stay, anything we need at that point. So
That's amazing.
Yeah, we got access to the pool and we got free drinks that night at the restaurant, and all because drunk Alex just couldn't remember a damn thing that happened.
That's the best.
And after all that kindness that they showed me, I still ended up peeing in their pond.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
It's related, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
That is that's a wonderful story. Thanks for sharing that one, Alex. I'm gonna have to clip that out and just put it in the vault because I didn't
just use it for the clip show.
Yeah, for sure. Best of, because I've never heard that story actually before, but you getting an upgrade is it's pretty funny.
Yeah. I guess I just don't make a very sassy drunk, even when I think I am. I don't know.
Oh my god. So do you have any other questions, Michelle?
I mean, nothing comes to mind at this moment in time.
Okay, that's cool. Here's my general question. What do you not miss about working in the casino? So now you're part-time, so now you can kind of step back and look at it, from a different perspective. What do you definitely not miss about being a full-time casino employee?
Probably just the hours. I really truly only was full-time for a brief part of my life. When I was trying to start our family, I thought, okay, I should probably get some reportable hours that I can use for my future maternity leave. That's when I stepped up to be a pit boss, thinking that on paper that would get me a better mat leave, and I'm pretty sure it did. It was really difficult to work that full-time schedule and be apart from my husband who works full-time days, especially I was pregnant and I'm trying to communicate and run the household and get everything in order, and you're not syncing at that time because we were working opposite hours. So I definitely don't miss that. I really love doing the part-time because I still get to socialize and share my interests about the games and stuff with people around me, like-minded people, but I can still have my regularly balanced daily life at home too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it gets a little bit more difficult when you have young ones, right? I think there's a really big change with that. I think what kind of changed for me was the fact that the hours kind of got extended. Once that got extended, I really had to take a deep look at whether this was a good career choice for me. I saw my brother go through this, and his kids grew up so fast, and now they're adults. And for me, I'm like, oh, I really don't want to miss my kid growing up. I like being home and seeing him and just playing around with him. So I think it was tough when it went to 3 o'clock. I mean, a 12 to 7 was a good shift. 7 to 2 was okay. But then man, going till 3 in the morning, it's a huge difference. It's an hour, but it makes a really big difference. So.
Yeah, because you think about it, I mean, I don't know about anybody else's habits, but for me, when I work until 3 in the morning, 3:30 as a pit boss, I get home close to 4. I gotta unwind a little bit, have a snack, watch a show. I'm falling asleep just before 5, and that's early for some people with that schedule, right? So then I have to wake up with my little one, and I'm happy to, and we have lots of fun, but it's just not the same. And then even when we first opened from the lockdown, I worked 4 night shifts in a row, and I was really excited. I was excited to socialize and see people and get back into it. But that was 4 nights in a row that I missed tucking my son in at night. And that's such a special time. We get to talk about our days and read stories and sing songs. And I couldn't do 5 nights a week away from that. I just couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I got really lucky. Like looking back, it wasn't. So I worked in the casinos until about 2005 full time. I did a bit of part time after that, but for all, yeah, 2005, late 2005. So my son was 6 at that point, and so he was just going into grade 1 when I took a big pay cut to go work an office job. And at the time I was like, oh, big pay cut, but I just was so unhappy. Like I was happy in the casino industry for a really long time. And then just got to a point where I just wasn't anymore. So tried something different. And looking back, it's probably one of the best things I ever did, because not only did I switch to a day job Monday to Friday, it was like I had an amazing employer, like super flexible. So if I wanted to go to, like, if your school has as this is just an example, a Christmas concert. There's usually a day Christmas concert and a night Christmas concert. And the night Christmas concert's like 2 per family, no grandparents, like no extras, because most people have to go to the night Christmas concert. So if you can go to the day concert, you can bring all the grandparents you want. There's tons of space. And so I had a great boss. And so I could go do those things during the day and have my day job. And, like go watch school sports, even though it's before the work. Like it was like, I didn't know how great of a thing it was at the time, but ended up being just such an amazing gift to have done that at that point in my kid's life. And I worked there from the time he was in grade 1 to the year he graduated. Like
Wow.
I worked there for 12 years, exactly his kind of.
That's really a testament to that boss.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
So yeah, so I, lived it kind of by accident. Like when my kid before he went to school, like I would like let him stay up till midnight, 1 o'clock. And people are always like, your kid stays up till midnight? I'm like, well, I work till 2 a.m. So if he goes to bed at 7, he's going to be up at 6. And that doesn't work for me, right? He doesn't have to wake up and go to school. Like there's a lot of stuff about sleeping, and I don't want to contradict, like health and what's out there. I was a young parent. It worked for me at the time. And he would wake up at like 9 and I could function.
Yeah.
Right.
That's exactly how we've run our son's sleep schedule too, just because I was working nights when he was when I went back after my mat leave. And I mean, everybody makes it work what's best for them. There are lots of people who still work at the River Cree that I see all the time, and they have multiple children and they still make it work. And that's awesome if that's what works for your family. I think that's great. But it's also awesome to recognize if something's not working and make a switch for it. I think that's really important if that's what you need.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and like Jay said, with the longer hours, like I didn't work there when those longer hours came in, but I could see myself going and working part-time for fun 1 day a week or something, like, a bit of extra money. But if it's like till 3 a.m, like 42 years old, like not like older and not used to those hours anymore, like, yeah, I'd probably get sick of it real fast.
Yeah.
I agree. I know it's not about, for me, it's not even about the game. Like, as much as if you put me on like Ultimate Texas Hold'em, I'd probably be like, ugh, man, I can't believe I'm awake for this. But
I like that game.
I'd probably still be okay with it. But it's just the fact that, like, when I was working the Fridays, and this is gonna happen again because I'm going back. But I worked.
You are? Where?
We'll see. I haven't made a decision yet.
River Cree really needs crap stealing.
Yeah, well.
Really badly.
I can walk there, and I like drinking there, so it's really tough to make a decision.
So where he's going to work is also affected by where he wants to go play.
Yes.
And hang out.
I like this. Oh my God. Okay. So on the side, before I continue with this discussion, I loved River Cree because it's right there. I can just I drive and it's like a minute and it's really cool. I can sit at Center Bar and have some drinks and it just feels okay. It's like a nice place for me to go and sit and be like, oh, this is nice. I can sit at the bar. I don't have to play. I don't feel like I have to do anything when I'm there. And it makes me feel like good. And I don't know. And I think that's one of the reasons why I don't want to go there and work, because I have a really positive experience with that casino for some reason.
Well, that's nice to hear though.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have nothing bad to say about it. I mean, my brother kind of worked there, and he had good times and bad times, but it didn't really affect my opinion, or my point of view, or I really didn't care who was the manager or the CEO or director or anything like that. I just like to go sit down and relax.
Yeah.
So it's a place I won the most money at. So there's a positive experience there. I like the food. I had a birthday at the nightclub, and it was amazing. And there's all these different things that happen there. It was like, oh, this is pretty cool. If we do a convention, I want it to be there first, because I think they're the only casino that can kind of manage what I have in my brain that I want to do. So yeah, I have a lot of respect for that place. I know a lot of people are.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of mixed, there's a lot of comments about it, good and bad, and people that used to work there, people that don't. There's a lot of changes, and I can't comment on that because I never worked there. But me as as the consumer, as the patron, I've never really been mad about that. I've never had any terrible, I don't know, situations. Never really any bad experiences. So.
And I think that's kind of how the River Cree Casino is meant to operate. We are the full experience. We got the hotel, the restaurants, the venue, the hockey. You can watch hockey games there. There's always something entertaining going on. It's not just gambling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, for sure.
So before we jump off, there's just a couple things here. So you do remember me seeing you there at the Yellowhead Party Pit? Okay, so I did find one picture of myself.
Oh no!
No, but you're not. Yeah, you're not in it.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay. But it tells you how miserable I was at this point in my life. But yeah, this is a photo. So what a terrible situation I was put in here.
Oh,
with this photo.
yeah, life's hard.
That looks like a really difficult gig, Jay.
I know.
How did you make it through?
Yeah, the burlesque dancers were so good. I thought it was really fun.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was work, right, Alex? I mean, I got paid to DJ and just press play and play music, and I had no choice. Business. Yeah, I had no choice but to watch them the whole time until they were done, so that I could hit stop on my iTunes.
Yeah, it's a hard gig, but somebody's got to do
it. So. Thank you so much, Alex, for being on. Any final shout-outs?
I guess hello to all my River Cree people, except Brian, because he specifically asked me to say hello to him, and I said I wouldn't. But I do love Brian, so I take that back, I guess.
So it was a shout-out, but it wasn't really supposed to be, but it ended up being one?
So it was a not shout-out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. First non-shout-out. Okay. Michelle, I know we kind of did a half shout out.
Yeah, I'll just extend the shout out. So, I gave a shout out to the Team Canada women's soccer team for beating the States, but extend that shout out to all Team Canada Olympians, right? It's a lot of hours that they dedicate to what they do, and it's regardless of how they finish, it's just awesome.
Absolutely. I got to watch Andre win his gold medal this morning. That was very cool.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. I've never been that much happier for somebody else. So I was like, yeah, I mean, I just put a huge smile on my face. Even any gold medalist, when they win, it's just wow, you're so vested in it, and you're sometimes you get emotional.
Did you guys see when the Italian and the Qatar guy were asking to share the medal?
Yes.
Oh, that was amazing. What a touching moment. And I saw that's the first time there's been a shared medal in almost 100 years or something.
Yeah, it's 1912 or something the last time.
Yeah.
You know what I hate to I just hate when you talk about you shouting out all of Team Canada regardless of finish and celebrating a shared medal. I watched that high jump video 10 times because it's just so happy. Yeah. You always get people I got to stop reading comments, right? Because you always get people are that's not how it should be. Like, this is the Olympics. There should be one
Oh my
winner. Like,
God.
they shouldn't even be allowed to do that. And I'm just like, oh my God, dude, like, you need some happiness
Just
in your
enjoy
life.
the moment.
Yeah. That video is
I
awesome.
run a lot, and like, I don't run fast. There's no way I'm ever going to win a marathon, but I put in a lot of hard work and I get a medal at the end of it, and I feel awesome. And that's what I want everybody to feel towards anything that they work hard for. And I mean, those Olympians work harder than anybody, so it's amazing.
The freaking Olympics. If you can't celebrate someone even just competing in the Olympics, you need to reevaluate your life. Like, yeah.
So a not shout out to all those people.
Yes, opposite of shouting out. Don't read the comments, except for ours. Read our comments.
Oh yeah, okay. So I'm just gonna do one piggyback on that shout out. Just a shout out to all those guys that placed 4th, because
love it.
I mean, you know what? Yeah, if there was like a 4th place medal, they should make it, and you guys should get it, because that's the toughest place to be. It's like being on the bubble, right? So
yeah.
But that would be me in anything that I do. I'd be happy with like 4th place. You know, mowing the lawn, 4th place. Like that's
that's a lot of people you're beating to get.
Yeah, exactly, right?
100%.
Who wants to be 5th, right? It's like yeah. Anyways, Alex, sorry, one more final shout out to your business. Did you want to plug your business?
Sure. If you need any graphic design work, I'm here. I do mostly custom orders, so I don't really have a set price list or anything. It's really dependent on what your project is. So give me a shout. inspectorvector.yeg.
Yeah, I checked out the website. I love it. Like, you know, you said website, whatever isn't your thing, but like some good stuff on there.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, so yeah, we'll put that in the comments, and we'll put it in the actual link for the YouTube channel. So, all right, Alex, thank you for extending your time with us. Thank you for being on for the full episode and being on. Thanks, Michelle, for jumping on. Thanks, Danny, for being on as well. So, and all of you guys listening, and all of you guys that joined us live and commented, thank you so much for being a part of the podcast. So, okay, so enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Alex, stay on. Just a couple comments before you put your kid to bed. I just wanted to say
okay.
All right, guys, take care.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.